Hello everyone and welcome to the final sideboard of the Cincinnati Legacy Open. I'm here with Caleb, again.
Howdy. Again.
Yep, Caleb was over here earlier for a deck tech, so if you want to read all about this sweet, crazy brew, you can't. It's a video. I'm going to go ahead and give you the trophy right now.
I'll probably write an article about it in the near future.
Yes. You can find that on Channel Fireball, where your columnist regularly posting a lot of strange Legacy decks.
The Legacy Weapon.
Legacy Weapon, indeed. A real-life quote from the coverage of your finals match: "Signet time is over, it's Karn time." I just thought I'd throw that out. That's something I'm pretty sure I never would have thought I'd hear in Legacy.
Karn is sick.
How did your Signets and Karns play with you? I mean, obviously, you haven't gotten to play them now. You know, Scars is gone, so you can't really play these artifacts into Karn strategies anymore, so now that you're in...
You mean in Standard? What are you talking about?
No, now you got to move your Karns into Legacy.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's actually probably why I started playing with it.
Just missed him?
Yeah. Well, the last Standard Open, I can't remember where it was, where Scars was legal. I was like, man, I have to play Tezzerets at least once. This is like the most fun card in Standard. And I like threw some Staff of Nins in there, and I was like metamorphing Staff of Nin was the best thing ever. I even illusioned a Staff of Nin once because I like made the staff a 5/5 with Karn so I could image it and like anyway, but yeah, Tezzeret's like one of the most fun cards in existence.
Sure.
It does all these sweet things. It's really powerful. It's probably if you have a deck built around it, the most powerful planeswalker. I mean, except for Karn.
Except for Karn, indeed.
But it's probably because they both eat other planeswalkers.
Sure.
Devour them.
They create powerful board presences. It's really hard for your opponent to fight back against an unchecked one.
Yes.
It's similar to a Jace in that once you start pulling ahead, you just keep getting farther and farther
Right,
ahead.
yeah.
All right, so obviously now you've got some experience with a deck that was pretty much a brew going into the tournament, right?
There are some Monday Night Legacy tournaments in Chicago at Hot Sauce that I usually play at, and we have a good group of ringers. We have the Legacy champion, Chris Bergeson, who does alters at Star City events a lot.
Yeah.
Joe Bernal is top 8 at a lot of these opens. Sam Kaputz, I always mess up his last name, top 8's a few. Jeremy Stone, my roommate, is top 8 at an open. Like he goes to these, so it's like a slew of good players, and then some more like casual types, and we all just like play a lot of Legacy. And a few of us were working on Tezzeret brews, but I was the one who added the Soul Ring mana base and focused on an emphasis on Signets instead of Moxes to get the Tezzeret out earlier. And they were working with Temporal Mastery, which Adam Prozac did a bit ago. He top 32'd an event.
Yeah, I think I recall that event actually.
Right, also with Temporal Mastery in his Tezzeret deck. And both the group that I was working with and Prozac were using like tops and stuff to set up the Miracle. But it's not quite as consistent as the list I brought. Not quite as resilient.
You feel like they're just trying to do a few too many things, really, and
it's a little bit cute. That deck was good, but the way it won, like it would fall behind, and then it would like play a Planeswalker and take an extra turn, and then they'd play another Planeswalker on the extra turn. Like they'd have 3 Planeswalker activations, and they would just like pull ahead very suddenly. This deck's a lot different because it like tries to play a Planeswalker on turn 2, so it can just like be ahead on turn 2. So.
How many turn 2 Planeswalkers do you think you cast over the course of the tournament? Just curious. A lot.
Not a lot. Probably like 2 every 5 or 6 games.
Okay.
5 to 7 games. I don't know.
That's still a pretty stern margin, really.
Right. Well, I mean, you have 6 soul lands and 6 talismans, and like you're more likely to keep a hand that can turn to a sweet planeswalker than not. 7 4-drop planeswalkers. So.
Okay. So obviously the deck played pretty well. Do you have any changes you'd make right off the bat?
Dread of Night was insane. I'd probably add a 3rd to the board.
That's pretty much it?
Yeah.
All right, sweet.
Deck's sweet. Try it out.
We've got a few questions for you.
Questions?
From the Twitters.
Oh, my.
If you'd like to be quizzed.
Oh, those people don't like me very much.
Oh, well, I'm sure these are fine. Ooh, not that one.
Caleb D at Caleb D MTG is my Twitter handle if you would like Legacy updates and other random crap. Lolcats, who doesn't like Lolcats?
I do like Lolcats. I follow Caleb on Twitter, so, how bad can it be? Yeah. All right, so we have Milme 6HGG, something like that. Was Dredge or Reanimator a problem for your deck, do you think?
I played Dredge once. It was Jerry Thompson. We were playing for top 8. First I offered him the draw because I was locked, and if he drew with me, his making top 8 would depend on another match.
Yep.
And And he's like, no, I'd rather play, which I would have 2 in his place. And I beat him in game 1, and then I offer him the draw again, and then he accepted because he was down a game, which is reasonable, which I also would have done in his place.
Yep.
But it worked out for me and did not work out for him.
Yeah,
Them's
he
the breaks.
wound up in 9th, as we know. When Birdie
I played
Wins match
against,
fell.
I didn't play against Reanimator at all. I played against Zombies, which is a graveyard-based deck.
Sure, I remember watching that matchup. It was a camera match.
Yes, I had time to find a Grafdigger's Cage against him, and then that bought me time to do busted things.
So you think you have enough hate, probably?
I don't know.
It's hard to say.
Sure, whatever.
It's easy when you draw it. So.
Yeah, draw that against Jerry Thompson. I Tezzeret +1 into my 1 main deck Relic, and that was quite good.
Magic's a difficult game.
Very hard.
Difficult.
Very hard.
All right. Chris Pakula, Meddling Mage on Twitter, wondered about your lack of brainstorms.
Oh, Brainstorm, I tested it. It was awkward. It makes you run a stifle, not friendly mana base. So like Rug gains percentages because they can stifle your fetches all of a sudden because you're running enough shuffle effects. And then like Chalice at 1 isn't nearly as good. And you really don't want to be casting Brainstorm in the early turns of the game. You want to be like Signet Go or what have you. Thirst for Knowledge is just insane. It's a much better card than Brainstorm in this deck.
I can see that. You only had 3 fetch lands, I believe, right? And
right.
I guess Tezzeret is sort of a
There's
shuffle,
a couple
but...
Solemns, like there's Tezzeret, there's the 1 Trinket Mage. It's just not really a shuffle-heavy deck.
Okay.
But yeah, Tezzeret and the Jace work pretty well together. Like put 2 lands back, Tezzeret +1.
Yeah, they need the help. So
they do.
Our last question comes from Serenus X Tempest on Twitter.
Okay.
Was your beard crucial to victory?
Definitely. Partially because I don't spend time shaving, and the time I don't spend shaving, I can spend doing more manly things like playing Magic constantly. Not much sleeping, mostly just Magic.
I sleep.
Sure. Well, I mean, you do coverage.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say. I'll accept that one. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let Caleb and his car mates begin the drive.
Oh, don't we have more questions?
No,
I think we have a lot more questions.
We're all out right now. It's got the crazies.
Well, my car is about to leave me, so.
All right, Caleb, thank you.
Yep,
Once
for
again,
sure.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.